In my humble opinion, brothers and sisters, this is not Brother Joseph. All right, brothers and sisters, welcome back to the last dispensation. First things first, I just got back from a camping trip that I was supposed to be on for another night. But my niece got sick and I'm back. But it was beautiful. We were close to nature, and there's nothing as invigorating as being in the Sierra Nevada mountains in California. It's just beautiful. If you've never been here, do it. Go check out the giant sequoias. Go to Kings Canyon National Forest, the Sequoia National Park, the redwood forest trees, all that good stuff up there. Or go to Shaver Lake. That's pretty nice too. And some of the biggest trees in the world you'll find. Some of the oldest living trees on the planet are up here in the Sierra Nevadas. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to start off. I've got a couple things that I want to talk to you about. But let's start with this. I do not believe this is Joseph Smith, and I will show you my evidence that I have over here. I have a few things that I will I'll give you my reasons, my good reasons why I believe he is not the prophet. He's a handsome tyke. He's a handsome man. I would say that he's probably 30 years old here, maybe even in his 20s. People did look a little bit more rough around the edges. And that's just it. This man is rough around the edges. Joseph Smith's features were softer. I like this. This is one of the best, I believe, that we have of the prophet. It's an 1842 oil painting. So the guy, his name was David Rogers. I don't know much about the artist. My research on this video was maybe not as extensive to the point where I could tell you every little detail about each photo and each painting or each depiction of the prophet here that we're going to look at. But David Rogers was the artist, 1842. And in here it says it's compared to a daguerreotype discovered inside the Smith-Larson watch locket by Dan Larson. So I'm going to be reading and commenting briefly on Joseph Smith's descendant believes he's found the first photograph of the prophet. And then I'm going to go into my reasons why I don't believe that this is the prophet Joseph Smith. What did Joseph Smith look like? His death mask paintings and descriptions of his physical appearance provide some clues of the appearance of the first president and prophet of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But no verified photograph or image of Joseph Smith has ever been found until now. Until now? Question mark. A descendant believes he has found a daguerreotype. So do you know what a daguerreotype is? Oh man, how do I describe a daguerreotype? I'll just let you know briefly the difference between a daguerreotype, and it's pronounced daguerreotype, and a photograph. In contrast to photographic paper, a daguerreotype is not flexible and is rather heavy. The daguerreotype is accurate, detailed, and sharp. It has a mirror-like surface and is very fragile. Since the metal plate is extremely vulnerable, most daguerreotypes are presented in a special housing. So this was prior to photography. Photography came on paper later, we take digital photos now, and then they're transferred onto paper if you want them to be, or you can keep them digitally on a thumb drive or other type of storage. According to Lachlan McKay, a member of the Community of Christ Council of 12 Apostles, who oversees the Joseph Smith Historic Site in Nauvoo, Illinois, Community of Christ, formerly called the Reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is the second largest religious body to trace its origin to the revelations of Joseph Smith. For me, it's pretty significant. I no longer have to guess at what he looked like, McKay said. It is consistent with the period and everything we can find. It is consistent with the period for having been made in Nauvoo and the fact that it has this family, the Smith family provenance. That is really what sets it apart from the other daguerreotypes of Joseph, which it seems like one pops up every other week. And most of them are very easily ruled out. With this one, that has not been the case. The discovery and findings were announced Thursday in the spring-summer 2022 issue of the John Whitmer Historical Association Journal and a news release. Read the rest of the article at Deseret News, including a statement from the church that no definitive conclusions can be drawn regarding the photo's authenticity. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to show you right now why I don't believe this is Joseph Smith. This is the death mask of Joseph. First of all, before I begin, amongst other hack things that I do, I'm a hack musician. I'm also a hack artist. I have some formal training in artistry or portraiture, drawing the human face, and also the human anatomy, which is figure drawing. I've done some landscape and I've rendered in acrylics, graphite, charcoal. I've done extensive amounts of abstract. The most experience that I have is in portraiture, drawing the human face. And I've even done caricatures. So those of you who have drawn understand that there's a lot of inconsistencies here. Consider, if you will, the bulbous rounded nose tip right here on the death mask. You see that? And how it kind of goes in a diamond shape. You can see that. Or even you could say an octagon. Boom, 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 boom. But see how it angles here on the ends? I'm talking about the nose tip itself, right? Not so much with this daguerreotype here. I don't see a prominent bulbous nose tip here. The cheekbones being prominent also. Right here. Not so much here. His lips, the tip of the top lip, or the upper central tubercle, right below the Cupid's bow, or the Cupid's bow, sorry. The Cupid's bow is right below the Cupid's bow. The Cupid's bow is this right here. Do you see in Joseph's? It's I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but did he have a scar here? I cannot remember, but you can see it. You can see the Cupid's bow right here, how it's kind of disfigured a little bit. And the central tubercle is the little tip right here, the lip. I had a friend named Chris Thomas that had lips just like that. And It's very, very distinguishing feature. The and that's what Joseph has. Even in this, where did it go? Where did it go? Here we go. Even right here, you could see how the painter, the artist, got it right here. He got that. The central tubercle right below the Cupid's bow. This is the Cupid's bow. This is the central tubercle. Huge almond eyes. The prophet obviously had huge almond eyes. This man does not. He has more piercing, beadier eyes, in my humble opinion. And like I said, the softer highlights that Joseph had in the death mask, you see the softer, more calmer, more peaceful, tranquil look. And I know you probably, you can say that's because this is in death, so it's peaceful looking. Some say that his face was swollen. It could have been swollen a little bit, but still, the features are what they are. And I don't see them here. I don't. I see more square, rigid features in this man. You can see it here. I like, this is from BYU. An artist did this sculpture next to the death mask. Very interesting. I like this one right here too. This is okay. So here's a semi-pro, 3/4 profile, we call this, of the death mask, and this is a 3/4 profile of the prophet right here. This is a recreation of the death mask. I don't know if this is digitally. I don't know much about the artists. And that looks like it could be digital, or it could be an oil painting or acrylic. He did have deep blue eyes. Over here, he looks like he kind of had reddish brown hair. He looks like a redhead almost. And so one thing about early artists, before the late 1800s, a lot of the artists, and you can go into all kinds of different eras of art and the terminologies, and you had ancient classic art, medieval art, the Renaissance period, neoclassicism, romanticism, romanticism to modern art, contemporary art. But one thing about the eyes and the features were not always, in proportion with each other at that time. So the nose looks smaller here, even the bridge of the nose, or right here, the beak of the nose, I guess you could call it, compared to the death mask right here. And the eyes are a lot bigger. He did not have beady eyes. One Latter-day Saint fan. I love this portrait right here. This is a portrait of the prophet, also from the death mask. One Latter-day Saint family in the 1800s decided to take matters into their own hands when they wished for a photo of the prophet. The family created photographs of Joseph and his brother Hiram Smith that were actually reconstructed images made using the two men's death masks. An ingenious technique, considering Photoshop was a century away. Let's compare this one to the death mask, but also to this one right here. I guess I go back. This is my go-to one because it's an actual depiction. The painter was looking at Joseph Smith when he painted this. He probably drew a sketch. He probably sketched the prophet out first, and then got probably several different stances and poses from the prophet while he did this painting. Anyway, so that's my reasons why we were never meant. Okay, in my own words, remember these people most likely knew the prophet, or at least lived or associated with others that did. But no matter how hard we try to match up, imagine, or look for a photo, the mysteriousness behind Joseph's lost or not at all photo or daguerreotype for some reason remains an anomaly. Maybe we were never meant to see the prophet as modern Latter-day Saints. Are we as modern saints having our faith tested? Not unlike knowing Christ walked the earth and is now in heaven with the renowned brother Joseph. And here are some of the other depictions of him that I think are more like the prophet than this one up here. And that's my 2 cents in the whole thing. And this one right here, that could very well be the prophet. It's a mysterious photo that was found, and we don't have a lot of background on it. Could be anyone that maybe look like. This one looks more like some of the 20th century artists' depiction of the prophet Joseph Smith. Anyway, that's it.